All right, welcome back, everybody. Fantasy Alarm TV, the Mans and Flowers Show. It's another Friday afternoon. I welcome in the Oracle himself, Ray Flowers. I'm Jeff Mans, by the way. What's up today, Ray?
Thank you for welcoming in me to the show today, Jeff. Having a hard time talking, apparently. I got a little bit of a cold. I'm going to try to rally.
Maybe it's the Superman tie. Look at you in the Superman tie.
I figured because I had the cold that if I wore the Superman tie, since there's no kryptonite anywhere around me, that I'd be healthy. So it's mine over mine.
Like my wife tends to say that I am her kryptonite, so I'm kryptonite to a lot of people, I would imagine. So we'll see if we can't bring you down. Ray, today I want to talk about some hot topics in the world of sports, and we're going to get to fantasy. We'll have some previews coming up on another episode of Fantasy Alarm TV. But today, something that is near and dear to your heart, Ray Flowers, and that is the world of baseball. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, Ray. Most people, left baseball back in August, but there's some hot news going around, and that involves Derek Jeter, his swan song just the other day. Last game at Yankee Stadium, he hit a walk-off hit, all that kind of stuff. And now we have this battle between, basically it's Keith Olbermann who I guess Olbermann woke up one day and said, F Derek Jeter, I'm just going to go for his throat and tear down everything he's ever done. Where do you stand, being our resident baseball expert, where do you stand on the whole Derek Jeter farewell ceremony that's lasted, this entire 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a player of Derek Jeter's stature, I don't mind this. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't necessarily want to have every place he goes give him gifts and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of funny. The guy's made $200 million or whatever the heck, $300 million, and people are giving him gifts. But in terms of
barbecue sauce.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. In terms of what he's done on the field, I mean, almost 3,500 hits. He's had, 15 seasons of 10 home runs and 10 steals, which is the best all-time amongst the shortstop. You put his numbers up as an offensive player, they're stupendous. They're right alongside guys like Honus Wagner, Ripken, those kind of players at the shortstop position. The defense has always been a little suspect, depending upon whether you use your eyeballs to judge that or whether you use the metrics that have been decided. But the fact is, you combine what he's done on the field with what he didn't do off the field. Last week we spent all this time talking about all these screw-ups in the NFL, Jeff. When has Derek Jeter ever done anything wrong? I mean, I got to give the guy credit. He's betted every hottie in the world, too. Got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Right, we the Mans and Flowers show, we give 2 thumbs up to the bagging of the hotties from Derek Jeter. There's no question about that. But let's say this. I don't like Derek Jeter. I don't like the New York Yankees. I grew up hating the Yankees. They're the enemy. I personally, if we want to get into it, I don't like what the Yankees, the Red Sox, some of these big market teams, I don't like the way Major League Baseball is structured, that they could spend unwillingly just whatever they want while the Kansas City Royals, have $20 million to spend. To me, it's not a fair game. That being said, I absolutely have no problem with the Derek Jeter farewell ceremony because, like you said, a player of his stature, they don't come around very often. What he's represented both on and off the field. And listen, I don't like the Yankees. That's me, right? That's Jeff Mann.
I don't like them either.
Yeah, see, we don't like them. But I have friends who are Yankee fans, and those of you maybe watching the Mans and Flowers show who are in New York City and you're a diehard Yankee fan, I'm happy for you. I really am. I know, when the White Sox won the World Series, and Paul Konerko is a guy who's given his victory lap, and he's riding off in the sunset after this year, and that means a lot to me. Why wouldn't Derek Jeter mean a lot to those folks? And to me, at its essence, that's what sports is all about. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about those memories and those things that have made you feel good over the years. And Derek Jeter's done that in spades for Yankees fans and for baseball. Like you said, he represented himself the right way in an era of domestic violence and drug abuse and amphetamines and PEDs, all this stuff. Derek Jeter's been unbelievably clean. Unbelievably clean in all of that. So when you get Keith Olbermann or whoever that wants to tear down some of his metrics, some of his stats, he's not a good shortstop. The one thing about Jeter is those 4 or 5 Gold Gloves when he won between 05 and 010. That was unfounded. That was the dumbest thing ever. Gold Gloves have become stupid, and that's unfortunate. But that doesn't mean he wasn't a hell of a ball player. Won a ton of championships. Brought baseball back to New York and to the Pinstripers, made them relevant again. Because when you and I were growing up, mid to late '80s, the Yankees didn't matter. They weren't really they weren't anything. They were bad baseball teams a lot of times, a lot of empty seats at the old Yankee Stadium. So I have no problem with the Derek Jeter thing whatsoever. Everybody's got their team right.
But Jeff, how can anyone have a problem with Derek Jeter? I mean, like I admitted, and like you said, the defensive thing. I mean, Rafael Palmeiro won a Gold Glove one year, and I think he played 28 games at first base. Okay,
yes,
that's the last area that people are finally getting into now in terms of statistical analysis in baseball, is trying to find a way to understand defense better, because that's clearly something we haven't done well over the decades or what have you. And whether Jeter deserved the Gold Gloves or not, let's even say he didn't. Let's posit, okay, he didn't. We got now guys like Frank Thomas in the Hall of Fame. Could he even catch a ball? I mean, to pick on Jeter because of the defensive shortcomings he had, it's unfounded. I mean, okay, you want to say it, fine. Given what he did offensively and given who he was in terms of the star of the Yankees for 20 years almost, and to never, ever, ever have had any off-the-field issues, not even a one that I can recall, that's truly amazing. And we should be celebrating that because, as you said, in this day and age, everyone screws up almost on a weekly basis, and this guy didn't do a thing for 20 years.
Unfortunately, what we do for a living, right, you and I, is we break down players and analysis, and we talk about the numbers and why somebody isn't as good as they think. We kind of put things. We work on perception more than anything. We give statistical analysis and ideas and theories behind why a player should be rated better or respected more or shouldn't be. In either way. And at the end of it, though, with this whole Derek Jeter thing, what it boils down to for me is this is sports, and this is memories. This is a cherished player who brought a lot of good times to the Bronx and to Yankee fans and to baseball in general. So many great memories. That should be celebrated. And again, a guy who did it the right way, a guy that they'll be passing down and talking about. I wrote an article over at FantasyAlarm.com about just little memories that I had, growing up, whether it's 1983, 1993, 2005 with my White Sox and stuff, and those memories are just, they'll never leave me, and they're the most important memories I have pretty much in my life, let alone just in my sporting life. So I don't begrudge anybody for celebrating the Derek Jeter thing. I think Keith Olbermann is just trying to get some ratings. I think he's just trying to play to the other side, which we get accused of doing quite often, Ray. They always say, oh, you're just doing this to spark debate. Well, sometimes a debate is needed on a topic. I really didn't feel that this one needed a debate, and I watched the Olbermann thing, and I'm a fan of Olbermann. I think he makes a lot of great points. He's a guy who embraced fantasy sports way before a lot of people, so I'm not just coming down on him as a blowhard like everybody wants to bring his political thoughts into this. That's not my business. But at the same time, I thought that whole side was it. It was very predicated, very planned out, in my opinion. Yeah,
and you wrote a piece about this for Fantasy Alarm. Yeah. Detailing everything, so where people can find that on the site. Where's that located, John?
It's One Man's Opinion. I write one every Thursday night. You get it if you're an assistant GM subscriber. You get it in your email inbox Friday morning. It should be about the time you wake up. So I stay up late. I have a few Maker's Mark and Cokes, and I spill my thoughts onto a page called One Man's Opinion, and we do it every single week over there at Fantasy Alarm. Speaking of which, you can go to Fantasy Alarm now. We got our Week 4 previews all set there, breaking down the matchups, telling you who's hot, who's not, heading into Week 4. This has been the Mans and Flowers Show, coming at you on Fantasy Alarm TV.